Welcome back, Campcasso artists. I'm Mrs. Small, and I'm here to create some extra sweet and delicious ice cream treats with you. So go ahead and open up your kits. Today, you're going to need your white watercolor paper, your black Sharpie marker, your blue paintbrush, a cup of water, paper towel, your watercolor paint palette, and your box of crayons. I took my crayons and put them into a bowl just so I had them easy to get. Just like we do with all Campcasso art videos, is we start with a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Give your shoulders a roll. Give your arms a stretch. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? Have you already been out on adventures today? Are you coming in from playing and need a break? Did you just have lunch or snack? Is it almost time for bed? Well, whatever time of the day it is, I'm here to create with you. So let's get started. Just know during our whole class today, you can pause this video as many times as you want, and you can always go back to it. And the awesome thing is that even when you're done with this video, you could do it again and create something totally different, okay? We'll just create right alongside each other. So I've gone ahead and I put my watercolor paper on a clipboard just so it's easier for me to show you what I'm creating here in the studio. So sweet treats, we are doing ice creams. That is what this Campcasso Art Box is all about, is deliciousness, okay? I bet you have a favorite flavor of ice cream, because I know I certainly do. The first thing you need to do, my loves, is you need to decide, are you doing a cone, which is going to be a triangle shape, or are you doing some type of dish, a vessel, for your ice cream to sit inside of? Maybe it's a cone bowl. You decide, and let's get started. I am gonna do the cone bowl. I actually think that's kind of a fun idea. But remember, just what I do is my choice. You get to make your choice. But if you'd like to make a cone bowl with me, follow along. If you have a different idea, go for it. All right, so to start my bowl, I'm gonna come up like I'm making a smiley face, and then I'm going to come down. I'm gonna connect those two together. And I think I'm gonna create a plate underneath it because I don't want my bowl just sitting on the table without a little plate underneath it. Okay, very simple. My waffle cone bowl, my plate. I'm gonna create some of those waffle cone lines, okay? I'm gonna do straight lines and angled lines. I'm gonna go all the way across, top to bottom. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So I created about 5 lines, okay? Then I'm gonna come across this way now and create some little boxes. I'm not doing anything very fancy about this. If you want to use a ruler, you certainly can, but you don't have to, you guys. It's up to you. I'm just having fun right now. All right, there's my waffle bowl. Now I'm gonna start creating my layers of ice cream. I think I'm gonna try to get my ice cream to go pretty high up my paper, but I know I'm gonna end with a cherry. Okay, so I need to save room for the cherry on top. All right, here come my flavors of ice cream. My first flavor, right here. And another scoop. This will be a second flavor. A little drizzly sauce on it. And then I think I'll sneak in a third layer. I'm gonna make this one really big. It's gonna go behind. You know what? I have enough room for another layer. I have enough room for another layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers, 5 scoops of ice cream. Woo, that's a lot of ice cream. How many scoops do you have? All right, so I've got my scoops here, and now I want to start to play with them and decorate. So I know I want each of my scoops to have some amount of chocolate sauce on them, or caramel, or gooey frosting, maybe marshmallow. I know I want a cherry, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a cherry to the tippity top. Good job. I also am gonna create some little sprinkles. I'm gonna make some large candies. This first one, and then I'm gonna put some little sprinkles. What kind of candies are you gonna create? You can use any type of shapes you want. Triangles, squares, little heart candies. You could put, ooh, you could put a lollipop. Let's stick a little lollipop in here. How about right here? I'm gonna put a little lollipop. Who wouldn't want a little swirly lollipop coming out of their ice cream? Delicious. Kind of like that, huh? Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's do another one. That's fun. Do another little lollipop. Swirl it. I'm gonna connect that swirl. There we go. Good job. Now I feel like my waffle cone, my plate, and my ice cream, they are floating, which is okay, but I want to create a table line. So behind here, I'm gonna draw a line. My line is going to show that I have a wall and I have the table. Okay, do you see that? Wall, table, ice cream plate, the little dish, the ice cream waffle bowl, and then my ice cream flavors. Nice work. Good job. When you feel like you're all done with your Sharpie, go ahead and close up that Sharpie. Good job. If you are still using your Sharpie, go ahead and press pause. Don't worry, you're gonna come back and do the next step in a minute, but I want you to have enough time to draw with your Sharpie marker. So go ahead and pause me. Goodbye. And if you're still watching and you're ready for color, go ahead and put that Sharpie marker away. Take those crayons out of the box. Remember, I told you mine are in a bowl. And we're going to start by deciding what color our tabletop is. I'm gonna make my tabletop purple and blue. I'm gonna do stripes, I think. So I'm gonna press down pretty hard with my purple crayon, and I'm gonna make stripes that go all the way down. A little decoration in my picture for my tabletop. Now you could do any type of decorations you want on your tabletop. You don't have to just do what I'm doing. Remember, this is your ice cream picture. All right, I'm gonna go use a blue crayon now. I'm gonna go ahead and create some blue lines. You know, I feel kind of inspired by all these cool colors, the purple, the blue. I think maybe I'll do some green. If I have a green crayon, I'm gonna do some green too. Really letting my imagination kind of take control. Deep breath in, deep breath out. This is your chance right now to have your quiet time, your space to draw, your space to color, and knowing that you have somebody right with you. That's me, creating my art too. right. Ooh, good job. So once you feel like you're good with how you've decorated your tabletop in crayon, I'm gonna do something a little bit differently. Usually I have artists do crayon, everything crayon right now, but I keep looking at the paint and I'm like, the paint's calling me. I gotta get to the paint. So I'm gonna do some paint on my tabletop, you guys, but I wanna show you a little trick. I used all these cool colors. Get a little water on my brush. And I'm gonna pick up some yellow, warm golden yellow, and I'm gonna put my yellow right on top. And I don't know if you can totally tell this from home, but the crayon is coming through. The blue and purple and green crayon is actually popping up from the watercolor paint, and it's gonna create a really nice wax resist. It's resisting the water, the wax of the crayon. All right, so I'm gonna get a little sciencey here. I'm gonna take my paper towel, I'm gonna give it a little crunch up like a snowball, and I'm gonna take that yellow paint and I'm gonna start to push it around to create this lightness back here. Beautiful. Maybe I'll play with adding some shadows. So maybe on this side, it's gonna be a little bit darker than this side. So I'm imagining that the light of my kitchen, where my ice cream bowl is sitting on my kitchen table, the light is shining around here. So over here is gonna be a little bit darker. I'll scoop up some orange. I'm gonna brush that in. I'm gonna go back to that yellow too. Don't you worry. I just need to mix a different color, and I'm gonna mix it right here on this paper. So I'm doing a little bit of an experiment, seeing if I like this, seeing what happens when I add more water. Does it get too drippy? Do I have too many puddles? If I have too many puddles or it feels too drippy, get that little snowball and do a little tap. But I kind of like a little bit of the drips, to be honest with you guys, so I'm not gonna do a ton of tapping. I did just create a little bit of shadow here though. Maybe I'll smooth this out with my finger. Why not? There's a little shadow under that plate. Good job. So start to design what you want that tabletop to look like. Once you feel like you've completed the tabletop, let's move on to the wall. I'm gonna choose magenta for my wall. Okay, I'm gonna get my paintbrush, make sure it's cleaned out from my yellow, give it a little dry on my towel. And I'm gonna go ahead to my magenta pink family, right up here. I'm gonna do a little mixture. I'm gonna play with this pink and then this purpley color to see if I get the shade that I want. That's the great thing about being an artist, is we kind of test different things out. Oh yeah, I can already tell I really like this color that's coming through. Really like it, actually. I wonder what would happen if I did a little bit of a lighter pink on top. Maybe that purpley pink that I showed you. Oh yeah, it's a little bit lighter. Maybe I'll do a little pattern up here. So I've got some light areas. I've got some dark areas. And I'm just gonna go ahead through my whole entire background and push and pull that watercolor paint. The less water I put on the brush, the drier the paint will feel. The more water I dip into it, the more wet it's going to feel. So play around with that, you guys. If it's too watery, get that paper towel and press down. Pick up those little puddles. Okay? Just have fun going around all your shapes. We haven't gotten to the ice cream yet. Just focusing on the background and the table right there. And then let's have a little show off moment. Be proud of yourself for a second. Maybe you stand back. Give yourself a little thumbs up. Nice work. I'm gonna take a break from my paint. I'm gonna go ahead and put my paintbrush down. I'm gonna give it a little wash first. This is a good time if you want to take a break. You can pause and then go clean up your water bowl. Maybe you need to get new water. Maybe you need a new paper towel. Maybe you need a snack. If you're not ready to take a break, let's keep creating. Okay, going to my crayons. Itchy nose today, itchy. Must be allergy feeling. Anybody else have allergies? Happens, right? Okay, so enough about my allergies. Let's go into my plate. I found a purple metallic crayon. So I'm gonna go down here to my plate and I'm gonna press really hard with this metallic crayon. Look how rich and dark that purple is. It's like eggplant. Do you like eggplant? I wish I could say that my kids like eggplant. They do not like eggplant. I like eggplant. Mr. Small doesn't like eggplant. Do you have a garden this summer? That's something that's on my summer bucket list, is maybe to do some herbs, maybe some basil, maybe some fresh mint, maybe make some mint tea with it. That would be tasty. All right, so I'm pressing pretty hard with this eggplant purple with a little bit of the sparkle to it. And I want it to be different looking than my tabletop. That's why I'm pressing so hard. See how much it stands out now against that yellow? Yellow and purple are best friends. Did you know that? They're called complementary colors. They work really well together. Okay, I'm gonna go, I don't have a brown, so I'm going to my cone bowl and I'm gonna use orange, but I'm gonna use the orange really, really lightly because I'm gonna brush some brown paint on top, but I wanna give it a little bit of an underneath color. So I decided to pick orange. Felt like that was a good compromise since I didn't have a brown crayon. Okay, I'm gonna find my paintbrush, put it in the water. I'm gonna find a nice brown. I have a nice brown right here. And go on up. And I'm gonna paint each one of these boxes a different shade of brown. So I'm gonna do some dark ones first. Now in your kit, you do have a smaller paintbrush. That little paintbrush might be good for all those tiny, tiny details. Comes a lighter brown. I'm just going through each little box of my waffle bowl. You know what, this is kind of funny. I have this like raspberry color. It's not brown, but I kind of like it. So I'm gonna put it in there. Why not? And you can see some of the orange is popping through, which is nice. I like that. And oh gosh, do I dare use that yellow again? I've been obsessed with this yellow. I'm going for it. I really like this yellow today. Must be something to do with the sunshine. I'm gonna do little yellow dots all over, just give it different texture. Woo, it's like a disco ball. Nice job. Good work. Now you don't have to use browns. You could make your cone like a rainbow cone if you wanted to. It depends what you're working with. Did you choose a cone bowl? Did you do like a triangle cone, like a regular cone you hold with your hand? Did you do some type of bowl or dish or fancy cup? Depends. We may have all picked something different. That's okay. All right, so as my bowl is drying, I'm gonna go up to my cherry because I have a red crayon. And I'm gonna press really hard with that red crayon because I want my cherry to pop and be as bold as I can make it, different from my background. I'm gonna give my cherry a little green in the stem. And this is where I'm gonna play around with details. So I have the lollipops I put in. I'm gonna make all my details in my ice cream. I'm gonna give those really hard color, bold colors and pressing down really hard. I think I'm gonna give my lollipops different colors since they're like a swirly lollipop. I'll give you a better angle in a minute. I have you upside down right now. Give me a second. I'm coloring as fast as I can to show you. All right, so I did a little like mashup of these rainbow colors right here. Maybe I'll do some cool colors in this one. Now a clipboard is actually a great thing, you guys. When I create, I like to stand. I don't always feel comfortable sitting. I like to stand and move around. It's just kind of how I learn. It's just better for me. So if you like to stand up, don't be afraid to stand up. If you want to ask if somebody has a clipboard at home, you can borrow a clipboard, or maybe you have a box top that you can tape your artwork inside of. Maybe you have an easel at home. Do what works for you. What works for me is different than you. Maybe you have an art table at home that you're working at. That's pretty special and pretty lucky. Don't forget, as you're working on these little tiny details, we can get very focused, and sometimes when we get focused, our brain can't relax. Pause yourself. Look away from your artwork. Look up, change your point of view in the room. Close your eyes for a minute. Maybe try to imagine how you're going to convince your family to go out for ice cream tonight. Shh, I didn't tell you to say that to them though. Okay, details, right? I gotta keep going here. We're doing so much chatting. Did you ever think that you could do this much chatting with a video? Wow, Mrs. Small is very good at chatting. So what I would love for you to do is when you are done with your artwork, if you can have your grown-up take a picture. If you want to share your artwork with me, I would be so excited to see your artwork. So you can have your family send me a picture of your art. You can have your family put it on social media and give me a tag or a shout out, a Campcasso shout out, and then I can share it back and give you some feedback and comments. Lots of ways to do that. All right. I'm ready to play with paint again. I feel pretty good and satisfied with my crayons. If you are still using crayons, what do? You pause. You keep using your crayons. Good job. If you're done, let's clean up the crayons. Toss mine right in my bowl. I'm gonna save them for later in case I want them again. Go back to my paintbrush. Ooh, my water is very dirty. I need an assistant. Do you have an assistant nearby? An assistant might be your grown-up. All right, I gotta finish my ice cream here, my loves. I'm gonna go through with my paint. I'm gonna create some flavors. I have a mint ice cream, the little purple whipped cream on the tippity top. I'm gonna do a pink flamingo ice cream with, how about orange? Orange on top of that one. I'm just gonna go along. I have so many great colors in my paint palette. It's hard to decide which one is my favorite. I guess it's like flavors of ice cream. Sometimes everybody has their like one go-to flavor, but then you always have your like backups. Like, I love mocha flavored, but a backup for me would be chocolate. Like, I can't go wrong with a chocolate ice cream. Like, who wouldn't want a chocolate? Maybe you feel that way about vanilla. Tap, 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 tap. Bravo! All done with my sweet treat. You did fantastic today. If you're still painting, go ahead and keep painting. Our video time has ended. But of course, you can always go back and try this project again. I promise you it will not come out the same. Try something different. You've got a long summer ahead of you. Share those pictures with me. Create a great rest of the day.